I got a question for the men here. Is it really possible to understand the feminine? And obviously, as a gentleman, I have a question for the feminine. Women, do you really always understand yourself? So here's the thing about understanding. The feminine sparingly reacts on your logic. She's feeling you stayed as a man. She's feeling it in between the lines of the words you say. And you can sound smart as hell, say the right things, do all the stuff a good man would do, be bulletproof on paper, and she will still slice your soul in pieces. So the question is, what is the bigger picture behind all that? And to see that, obviously, we have to take a big step back. And look, I saw this really funny video of some older women explaining a guy how to talk to women. And he almost got it. And he's like, now I get it. I don't try to fix her problems. And if she doesn't explicitly ask me for advice, she needs someone who listens sympathetically, who feels her. That's all. And all the women look at him and they're like, yeah. And he's like, okay. So when she says, the waiter today was so rude, I don't say, well, maybe you should for once order something that's on the menu. I should say, what a jerk. And women, and they're like, yay, they're so happy. And he's like, I got it. When she tells me that the TV drives her crazy, I just tell her, yeah, it's so bad. There really isn't enough quality programs for women on TV. And they're like, no, turn off the freaking TV. And he's like, now I'm confused, really confused. But don't get confused, it's easy. So I coached really tough, powerful women in finding their feminine again. And that journey often made them discover their feminine as something really precious, beautiful, adorable, but also vulnerable. And quite often the visual of a flower came up. So imagine the feminine like a flower. It's here to be admired, to be seen in all of its shades, colors, and smells, to be taken care of, to be protected, to be nourished. Like, if you know the Little Prince, the rose of that little prince. Now, the women who watch me, tell me in the comments, which flower or which woman here likes to share her little prince's attention with a TV? Is it a little clearer now? It's about your undivided attention, your presence in the moment with her. And let's keep that in mind for a moment and look at another aspect of the flower. And you may have seen those experiments where they grow flowers. And one of those flowers, they shower with words of appreciation. And the other flower, they shower with bad, ugly words. They scream at it. And one flower, it blossoms beautifully. And the other flower, it doesn't even grow, it shrinks, it even rots. Those two flowers, that's the feminine. Shining, amazing, breathtaking, but fragile. And we really got to be honest about that. And I'm sorry for the feminine here, but we men, we're more like Rocky Balboa. We don't understand that because we wire differently. So you as the feminine or as a friend can tell a masculine guy, hey brother, you're getting fat, go to the gym. And the chances are he's in the gym the next day, motivated to get in shape, eye of the tiger or 50 Cent hammering in his earpods, and he goes pumping. Now, say the same thing to a woman. You're fat, go to the gym. Ouch! Even the word gym will sound to her like the off-harmony strings in a horror movie. Ching, 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 ching. And her freshly washed leggings will smell like trauma. She don't even want to look at herself in the mirror. So, if you want a woman to be like a flower, rather than dating Rocky Balboa, don't do it. Now, let's put this all together. And I'm sorry if this sounds sexual, but we are talking actually about the feminine and the masculine. So the masculine should penetrate the feminine existence with its undivided presence, with appreciation and devotion. And yes, this is sexual, and a man who is able to hold that presence even when he's triggered by her moods will open this flower up. And that's sexy. It's sexier than a six-pack. So if you don't have a six-pack, here's your chance to get a step ahead of the masses. So, isn't that beautiful? The feminine, your teacher of presence. And I've lived in a monastery, and when the monks fell asleep, within the meditation, the Lama had a long bamboo stick and pa! He hit him on the head. And the feminine, as a beautiful teacher, goes even further than the Lama. It does react on your presence positively, yes, but it also reacts when you are not present, when you go into your unconscious behavior. Worse, it will punish you with the wrath of the wild goddess. Rip your head off, and you will be like, why? What happened? Well, you were lacking presence, my brother. But it gets even meaner, or better, in a sense of the teacher. The connected feminine will spot our traumas and our weaknesses intuitively and hit them with more precision than a sharpshooter. So it will masterfully trigger our unconscious behaviors, our deeply unconscious reactions and patterns. And we reacting like a mommy's little sulky boy, or getting aggressive, or overly nice, or whatever our unconscious pull is, she will bring it to the surface, mastering. She will know who she's dealing with, what your weaknesses are, and when she finally gets you there, to lose your center, to your unconscious reactions, not sexy. So the way out is to learn to be present, to let her guide you through all your weaknesses and triggers and reflect on them instead of acting on them. And that exactly is high-level masculine presence. And if you master that, that's freaking sexy. So, isn't that beautiful? The feminine as your merciless teacher of masculine presence. Now, what am I saying? Women can use hard words on us, critique, dump their emotion on us without any filter, let themselves go in rage, and we have to stay calm, conscious, empathic, and handle our emotions on our own? Well, very yes. But also, there is a very, very no to it. Because exactly here, we're getting to the level of something the conscious masculine community messes up badly. Eating everything up, accepting everything, letting ourselves consciously treat like a doormat? To the feminine in here, tell me in the comments, how sexy is a doormat? Would you be happy to go out with a doormat? Of course not. Consciously reacting means, in this case, acknowledging our feelings in that moment, acknowledging how our subconscious programs wants to start acting and not following that pull. And then to take a deep breath, not reacting emotionally, but responding. And responding short and precisely. Setting boundaries that are unshakably rooted in deep calmness. Make a statement calmly, tell her where your boundaries are, and don't discuss over it. When she's in an emotional hurricane, just put it out there. No attachment on her reaction in that moment. Or would you actually go and discuss things out with a hurricane and attach to its reaction to your words? There's another way. Put it there and wait until the sun comes out. And the calm, deeply rooted boundaries you put out there into the storm will still calmly stand there and make their impression. And when the storm is gone, also she starts thinking, and she will think of what you said, especially if it was only a few calm words. And then, if it's really necessary, you can still discuss the things when the storm is over. That's the right moment. And even it will take a bit of courage, because you will cause a bit of wind and rain again, but your groundedness will make it possible. And it's the right moment. So it's all up to you. So is it clear now how to understand the feminine? Actually, you don't need to understand her. You need to feel her. And she's not reacting to your logic. She's reacting to your state, to your emotional state and groundedness, or to the unconsciousness you have. And you, with your logic, you can be perfect on paper and still get ice. But be fully there and you pull her into your calm. Be sunlight, she blossoms. Go unconscious and she closes. And her chaos, it's not crazy. It's a mirror. Your teacher, she's showing you where you lost yourself. So understand, this is really not about being nice or a good man. It's about being present when it's hard to be present. So here's the first step. Next time she reacts to you, you don't fix, you don't run, you stay where you are, grounded, and you feel it. So let her storm rise and be rooted in your truth. Doesn't require you to debate like a politician. Words and logic water down actually what is the truth you already have inside. So know your triggers and stay cool. And I know this sounds unfair, but we as the masculine have to provide presence and safety to her. So what does that mean? We actually have to be weak elsewhere. Be emotional wreck elsewhere. Break loose elsewhere. Explode elsewhere. And I want to be really, really very clear here. So I don't say shut up and suffer. I say elsewhere. Friends, man circles, that's a good place. We are in difficult times, brother, so we need to support each other more than ever. And men are far ahead in committing suicide, in mental illnesses. So we really need friends. Friends and men we can trust and we can be open with. But as we always have something more important to do, we do men's time much less than ever. Skip Instagram for a moment and look for a men's circle in your area. And actually I'm creating a group of selected men. If you like, apply to see if you're fit. And if this speaks to you, we even prepared a free course plus a support on opening up your own circle. Because some things are quite unbearable if you stand alone as a man. I mean, how many marriages and relationships become sexless friendships? How many amazing single men have lost their core and feel like an undesired golem in a cave of virtually and adult content slot machines? And how many amazing men have forgotten how it feels to really be desired? And this is what I call the Man-demic. Some would go as far to say that it's society's agenda. Weak men are easy to control. And actually, it doesn't matter who's setting this toxic course. Let's change that course to feeling free and fun in our masculinity again. So if you want to be part of the change, making being masculine fun again, being a desired masculine, give your grain of salt to this movement. One click on subscribe and another pack on the bell, and it's all that it takes to help to stop the man-demic.